What's up guys, welcome back to virtual reality. Today I show you a video of the upcoming virtual reality games in the year 2020 on all major VR platforms like Oculus Quest, PlayStation VR and PC. My name is Voodoo. You can find everything about VR and AR on this channel thanks to my sponsors VoodooDE VR, Opperman Events, Heronix, AThe VR Ambassador and Alpha Blend Interactive. Let's have some fun with the video and let's go!
VoodooDE.
After the Fall, a cooperative multiplayer zombie shooter where we have to survive in a post-apocalyptic world with 3 other players or alone. We can craft close range and ranged weapons ourselves. Area of Darkness Sentinel, a psychological thriller that takes place in New York in 1978, following the story of Dr. Anne Evans to the timeless Sentinel Islands, a dark mystical world. Bad Day to Fly. On the planet Poseidon, we fly missions with a drone and intuitive quadcopter control, in which we have to fight enemies in intensive battles or by stealth methods. Blade and Soul Table Arena. The game combines elements of a trading card game, real-time strategy and tower defense. And without a useful deck of cards, we have no chance here. Chill Out VR. A social VR game where we can chill and play with other players in a large universe and even create our own worlds or visit creations by other players. Cradle of Sins VR. A strategic multiplayer battle online arena game where we can use our own playstyle. There is also a larger selection of characters and weapons. DeMagnete, an adventure game based on physics-based puzzles. We have to manipulate magnetic devices so that we can get to the level exit. Dreams, a sandbox game in which we can create our own worlds, games, movies or other things, or try things created by other players in the Dreams community. The VR mode will be delivered later after the release. Eye of the Temple. Equipped with torches and whips, we go through abandoned temples. We have to dodge trap systems while we move with our own body. There is no teleportation and no other method of movement. Facebook Horizon, a social media VR game in which we can create things ourselves or hang out, play and explore together with friends in existing worlds. Half-Life Alyx, by far the most expected VR game. It is the first Half-Life game since many years and it will be released exclusively for virtual reality. In the Half-Life universe, we experience the story of Alyx Vance, which takes place between the events in Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. The announcement of the game caused that many VR headsets were sold out worldwide. Lighting and VR, a puzzle game in which we have to arrange mirrors so that the rays of light shine on dark planets, which are then brought back to life. Lone Echo 2, the successor to one of the best VR games. With top graphics and an awesome atmosphere, we experience the story of Jack and Liv in space. Lo-Fi, an adventure in a cyberpunk universe. As the sheriff of City Block 303, we have to keep things in order. Through the open world, we can either move with our futuristic airplane or on foot. Mare, an adventure game in a mystical world in which we have to explore and manipulate the environment with a mechanical bird. Marvel's Iron Man VR. With our 2 PSVR move controllers, we fly through the air in an extremely action-packed scene and fight against enemies. Even 360-degree tracking is possible, which is normally difficult on the PlayStation VR. Mixip, an arcade shooter in space. With 2 futuristic spaceships at the same time and the PlayStation Move controllers, we steer through space and can merge the 2 ships into one if necessary. Now the Lost Eye, an action-adventure with physics-based puzzles. In the mystical world of Now, we can move freely and use magic and weapons to fight a wide variety of opponents such as spiders, golems or huge trees. Panther VR, a stealth adventure in which we break into various facilities and steal things. We have to use a variety of technology gadgets and weapons. You better move completely silent here. Paper Beast, an exploration game in a colorful world in which we learn a story about a universe that was created on a data server by loss of algorithms and code. Phantom Covered Ops, a stealth adventure where we do our missions on the water with a kajak. We have to be quiet and avoid our enemies or kill them silently. Planetrism, an open-world survival role-playing game on an alien planet with danger and mysteries where we play a colonist who has to build a settlement to survive. Population 1, a battle royale game in which only the best survive. We can climb, fly or build, as well as loot and craft to gain advantages. Predator VR, the game to the movie. As an elite soldier with a huge arsenal of weapons, we command 2 NPCs and have to be careful of the Predator. In multiplayer games, we can also play the Predator ourselves. Prison Simulator VR. We play a prison guard and have to keep the prison in order in a neutral way. It is also important to uncover illegal activities. Redemption's Guild, a multiplayer online role-playing game that relies heavily on action, in which we fight our way through an open world or fight through dungeons to find better equipment. We can also face opponents in arenas. Sentenced VR. The game takes place a long time ago and we play an executioner who has to execute the death sentences given by the authorities. But we can also make decisions that are against the will of the authorities. Shaman Spirithunter. As a shaman, we are on an action adventure that takes us through a story. We have to defend ourselves against the souls of deceased animals as a good hunter. Spaceteam VR. A very fun co-op adventure where we have to communicate with the other players. Only through communication you can control your spaceship in space. Starchild. In this science fiction adventure, we land with our spaceship on an alien planet. There we find extraterrestrial technology and very soon encounter huge extraterrestrial life forms. TauCeti Unknown Origin. A cooperative action shooter in which we crash with our spaceship and make an emergency landing on the planet TauCeti. We have to face strange creatures in different areas such as jungles or canyons. The Elder Scrolls Blades, a spin-off of the popular role-playing series. In the first-person perspective, we explore a huge world, solve quests, loot and fight against enemies. The Room VR, a dark matter. An adventure set in British Museum of London. After the disappearance of an Egyptologist, there's an investigation by the police. Here we have to solve cryptic puzzles and mechanisms to get to the next area. The Walking Dead Onslaught. Inside the universe of The Walking Dead, we experience a story in a zombie apocalypse. We can use melee and ranged weapons to defend ourselves against the zombies in an ultra brutal way. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Another game in the Walking Dead universe, but this one offers strong survival elements. We must somehow survive the zombie apocalypse with other survivors. To do this, we have to craft, explore, make decisions and fight. The Wizard's Dark Times. The sequel to the popular magic adventure. This time we have to face an even bigger threat and use our large arsenal of spells to defend ourselves against our opponents. Undead Citadel, a brutal melee game in a fantasy universe where we compete against the undead. The combat feels very realistic through the integration of physics. Virtual Battlegrounds, a battle royale action game in which we have to prove ourselves as the best player on a large map. We can move with different methods such as skydiving, climbing, driving or using a zipline. Vertigo 2, an adventure game in which we have to escape from Quantum Reactor 7. We are led by an unknown stranger and encounter strange alien flora and fauna. What game are you looking forward the most in 2020? Or did I even miss a game? Write it in the comments below. I totally appreciate a thumbs up and your support via Patreon or YouTube membership. Thanks for watching and see you next time in virtual reality.
VoodooDE